Hey guys, King here, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to create this medicine jar in Blender. This video is going to be divided into two parts. Part 1 we're going to be creating the jar and doing the branding, and part 2 we are going to be creating the pills and then putting them inside the jar. So without no further ado, let's get started. So now in Blender, first things first, we're going to take out these guys because we don't need them. After taking them out, we're going to import our reference image, import it, go to where we have it, and import. All these are going to be in the description below. But something I want you to notice here, you see how the image is slanted. So it's because of how we had the view when we were importing the reference image. So now we are going to delete this image, go to the x-axis, which is the front, and then import the reference image again. And now you see it's going to be straight. I don't know why it does like that, but for some reason, if you want to get a straight reference image once into your image, this is how you do it. So back to the x-axis. So viewing from the x-axis. So what we're going to do next is to align the reference image properly, because we're going to be working with just one of the product of the medicine jar. So go to the image properties, you reduce opacity. It's not going to show because the opacity is not checked, so check it and then reduce it some more. So we'll change the depth to front, so see how it is. Then also the side to front. So if we turn to the back, you see it's not showing. Turn to the back, it's not showing, just the front. And so after that, but what we actually want is so that we only see the reference image when we are on the x-axis. So when we are off the x-axis, we want the reference image to vanish, to not be there, so that we can focus on the model when we want to focus on the model, and also when we need to use the reference image, we can also focus on using the reference image. Get it? So to do that, we click on only axis. So you see now the image is gone, but it's still there, but it's gone because it's going to show on only axis. So removing the perspective is going to remove the line entirely, but when we come to the x-axis, now it's showing. So with that being done, so I'm going to jump into creating our jar immediately. So the first thing I'm going to create is the cover, the spring that holds the cover on the jar, that stays around here, around this point. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to create now. So let's import our mesh. So we're going to import our plane. So Shift A. Yes, then go to mesh plane. Yeah, so we have our plane. So we're going to have to rotate it along the y-axis. So R, Y, 90 degrees. So R for rotate, Y the axis, and 90 degrees. So that's it. So we'll jump into edit mode. Then we'll remove the edges on the top, the right, and at the bottom. Delete it, delete edges. Yes, so now we have only just one edge at the left. So we'll go back to object mode. Then this will go to our modifier. Go to generate, go to screw, generate screw. So now you can see that it has taken form, but it's on the wrong axis. So we're going to change it from Z that it is now to X. So click on X. So now we have it on the X axis. So you can see that it's now circled round 360. You see. So change this back to 360. Yeah. So the screw, we're going to change it to 2 meters, because when you import your plane on default, it comes in at 2 meters by 2 meters. So 2 meters is the point from top to bottom. So now this is going to be how many times you want the screw to to go round. So let's do 2. No, let's do 3. Just play with it depending on what you want to do, what you want to achieve. Play with it. But I think for me, 3 is looking too much. Let's see. Let me try scaling it down a bit. Scale. I think 3 is still looking too much. Let me drop 2. So yes, 2. So 2 is giving me what I want. So at this point, we have the screw, but it's not still looking like what we want. So go into edit mode. This is not going to work like this. So what we need to do first, we need to go back into, see, like it's just that face that is working as the point. That is what we use to apply the modifier that gave us the screw. So we have to go back to object mode to fix this. So object mode, see the modifier, apply the screw modifier. You see, is applied. So once we go back to edit mode, now it's there. So now we have our, so click on Ctrl R to create a line between the entire screw. Then Alt click on the new line we just created, then Ctrl B to bevel it, because that's what's going to serve as the inside that's going to extrude out. So Ctrl B to bevel. Yeah, so we have that now looking online. So you're going to make this place as detailed as possible as you want. So click on any place and A, screw it some, scale it down some more, scale it down some more, scale it down some more. Yeah, this works. It's looking good. So what I'm going to do now is, you see, now we want to align everything, but you see it's not aligning properly. So how we're going to fix that, because we want everything to be on the same line, still maintaining the screw. So what we're going to do now is we are going to select the entire, go to select all, which is clicking on one place, and then A, then you press M to merge by distance. So click on it. So now we have this together. So if you go to the points, if you pick any points, now you see that these two places, now they're now together, they're now working as one, because we've merged them by distance. But still, we still need to bring everything, top and bottom to the same level, while still maintaining our screw. So let's check this out. While still maintaining our screw, so what we're going to do is we are going to go to the point. So first of all, we'd have to deselect these guys. Yeah, that was a mistake I did when I was doing it before. So you extrude it up after deselecting that. So extrude it up. So it's there. You have it. We're comfortable with that size. We alt click again, then scale Z0. So scale it Z axis 0 point, and then it will come together. That's scale Z0. Do the same thing again from the for the bottom. Alt click, select everywhere, deselect this part, deselect it, then the same thing. We extrude first, then we'll do the same thing, scale Z, then 0. Now we have these aligned straight together as we want them, but you got to still push it up, push this up, and then alt click the top part, then G to drag, push it down. So now we have a beautiful scroll. But if you notice, for some reason, if you click on the point, you see that they are separate from each other. You see this? They are separate from each other, unlike the other parts. So what we are going to do is simple. Go to face, click on this face, then go to edge, click on the top, left and bottom, top right and bottom, sorry. Then right click and then subdivide. Now we'll subdivide it to 3 points. 3 points because of the 3 points here. 1, 2, 3. You can see that. So we'll subdivide it to 3 points. So when we go to the points, you see the point. So shift it up. So be as close to the point next to it as possible. Doesn't have to be 100% accurate, just make it as close as possible. See, it's shooting out. So Ctrl Z back. So let's use the axis to fix this. Okay, so G Z to drag it along the Z axis. So drag along the Z axis. Click on that point, G Z, drag along the Z axis so that it does not go off the point. So click Z, same thing. Yeah, so that's that. So we'll do the same thing again or align it properly. Yeah, so we'll do the same thing again for the bottom. Click on the face, edge, click, then right click, subdivide, 3 points, because the same thing has 3 points there. So go back to the point, move it as close, GZ, as close to the other point as possible. Yeah, GZ, drag it, good, GZ, drag it, good. So now we have it at the same point. So what do we do now? Now we need to merge them together by distance. So click, then A, then we'll click on M to merge by distance. So now you have it. So increase the merge. Okay, good. So this looks good. So if you click on any point, you can see now that they are together now. See, they're together. So we have our screw. Very, 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 very nice. Very nice. Very nice. This is looking good already. So I think we'll need to scale it down a bit. So let's scale it down a bit. Yeah, this is looking good. It's not bad at all. It's looking good. So we'll go to the face, click on all the faces, alt click, it will click on all related faces. Then we extrude. So alt E, click on alt E to extrude along normal. So we extrude along normal, alt E. So you see that this is looking good already. So adjust it to what best fits what you want. There's no exact, just what best fits what you want. So you adjust it like that to what fits what you want best. So go back to object mode. Now we have this clean looking. Let's add the subdivide and straight smooth and modify. Let's add this subdivide. So subdivide, yeah. So it's looking better. Make it 2, 1. Good. I like this already. But I want to make the edges as I'd give it a fade from the beginning to the end part of it, or give it a fade. So click on the edge, then change the face to give us a perfect alignment. So go to the x-axis. Yeah, but let's go to the back of the x-axis. So back of the x-axis. Yeah, so now we don't have our reference image looking at us. So grab, and along the y-axis we push it down. So you see now it has given that smooth fade. We still need to push it to this side some more. So we click on it again, then drag along the x-axis a bit. Yes, around there. So it has that smooth fade. So that's what we are looking for. That smooth fade. So we'll do the same again for the bottom side. Go to the x-axis, G to grab along the y-axis, then yes, push it down, then the y-axis, push it along the x-axis. So yes, around there. Yes, so now it has that smooth fade. You see, it's looking good. It's looking good already. So let's go back to, okay. So at this point, I just check for any detail that you are missing to correct. Just check it. So that's what I'm doing here, going around the axis. So to check. So go back to object mode. Now we need to align it with our model, with our reference image. Drag it. So it's looking bigger than our reference image. So we need to scale it down some more. So S along the Z axis to scale it down some more. Yes, good. So now we drag it down. This is perfect. So make it fit. So now you're going to watch it closely, drag it here and there, scale it here and there to make it fit your reference image as perfectly as possible. So drag it here and there, like that to make it fit as possible. So now we'll go back to edit mode. You have to view from our reference image. Yes, because now we want to start modeling the other parts of the bottle. So alt click to select all that part. So E to extrude along the Z axis. So EZ to extrude along the Z axis. So now we are trying to point this part. You see that part, I have to create a space for it. So Z, yeah, you have to create a space for that part. See, so stop it there. So later we'll come in to fix that part, but let's finish it. So see the side here. So EZ to extrude along Z axis again. So now for this part, we are going to use extrude and scale. That's ES. So that ES, you extrude and scale. So you see. So try to be careful. You follow the lining so that you don't, mess your whole model up. So just do it as careful as possible. So ES to scale. So yes, we have that. So it's perfectly aligned to our model. So EZ to extrude downwards. So extrude downwards. Down. Grab it. So GZ to grab it and push it back. Good. Around this point. Okay, good. So now we need to close the bottom. So the same thing that we did at the top. ES. So ES stop. ES again to scale. So now that point, we're going to close it by going to object. So we're going to face, grill fill. So we have that. So it's closed. So that grill fill. Now, if you look at our bottle, you know that it is not the same with our reference image. At all, it's not looking like our reference image. So we're going to do that by hot clicking that edge, then bevel it. Bevel it. So I think that fits quite alright. Quite alright. It's not bad though. So go to the bottom too. Do the same thing. Hot click. Then Ctrl B to bevel. Ctrl B to bevel. Sorry, this. Yeah. So you have to make sure that you are doing it correctly, unless you might lose some important details. So yes. So check our reference image. You see, it's looking more like it. It's looking more like it. It's looking more like it. Looking more like it. So now, the stuff that I showed you, that place that the cover sits on. So that's what we are going to work on now. Check the reference image. See here, this part. So we're going to work on that now. So click on the face, hot click on the face. So then hot E to extrude among the normals. So extrude it outwards to fit in with our reference image. See that? So this is looking good. It's looking good. Liking what I'm saying. Some more, because that's where the cover is going to sit on, so it needs to be more. Go to the edge, then bevel it so that it gives that sharp, that sharp joint there. So we'll do the same for the bottom. You can see this is smooth, but it's supposed to be sharp. So we hot click and then bevel again. Yeah, so give it that sharpness there. So yes, so we have that. So we have that sharpness. So go back to object mode. You can see it. You can see how good it's looking already. This is looking good. This is looking good. This is looking good. So back to edit mode. So now we are going to create our cover. So how to do that? We're going to hot click on this top part. Then Shift D to duplicate. Then right click to snap it back. So we're going to click on P to separate by loose parts. Sorry, by selection. Separate by selection. Then we'll go back to object mode. So you see that we have this separated. Then click on it and go back to edit mode. Now hot click, then E to extrude, then Z along the Z axis. So I extrude along the Z axis. So to get this right, let's look at our reference image. So drag it to fit with our reference image. Good. So now we need to close this top. So how to close this top? Lift it up a bit. Yeah, I think it's looking good. Lift it up a bit. So let's go back to closing the top. Close, alt click. Yeah. So we'll go to face, grid fill, then we have that closed already. Alt click here, because it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be sharp edge. So alt click, shift, alt click, shift, alt click. So Ctrl B to bevel to get that sharp, edge that we're looking for. So yes, we have that. So back to object mode. So this is looking good already. So looking good. So if you notice, this is looking slim. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be as slim as that. So there are two ways that we can fix this. You can either go to modifier, add the solidify, and then increase the thickness. You see, increase the thickness, and it's going to be there. But I don't necessarily like doing it like this when it comes to creating models like this. There are some times where this come in handy, but in this kind of situation, for me, I don't like using this. So what I do is that I go into edit mode, click anywhere, and then A, and it selects all. Then I click on Alt E to extrude along normals. Then you extrude in. This is my most preferred way of creating stuff like this. So extrude in. Then see that the top part is looking round. See how smooth it's looking. That's not what we want. We want it to be looking sharp. Yeah. So Alt click, Control B for bevel it, give it that sharp edge. This is good. So tap. So Alt click on the other side, bevel. Yeah, this is good. So you see how it's looking now. This is how I love to create it. Things like this, I prefer this way more. Solidify can work for you, that's not a problem. Back to object mode. So now I'm going to do the same for the cover. So the same thing, click on it. Sorry, it's not showing. Need to check this back here. So click on it. So add shade smooth, add subdivision. Yes, like 3 points. Yeah, to make it as smooth as possible. Yeah, I'm liking the way this is going. So back in edit mode, click on the point A to select all, then Alt E to extrude along. So I think at this point is okay. So the same thing that we did for the top of the bottle, we'll do for the bottom part of the cover. So we'll click on the edge, Alt click. Sorry. Yeah, Alt click. Yes. So Control B to bevel to give it that sharpness. So make sure that you get it the way you want it. So Alt click on the other side, Control B, bevel. Good. This is looking good. So object mode. So now you see we have our cover looking all good, looking all nice. Let's bring back our bottle. So this is looking good. So let's check it from my reference image. So you see, it's looking pretty good. This is my reference image. Yeah. But if you notice in our reference image, it has, the design, the label. So now we are going to create space for the label. So back in edit mode. Yeah, so okay, so object mode, click on the bottle. Yeah, then edit mode. Good. So now we have it on edit mode. So let's go back to our reference image so we know where we are placing. So Control R, click, and then drag it, place it properly. Control R again, click, and then drag it. So now we have our label, space for our label. So most people like to putting their labels on the model itself, but on this case, because we want the bottle to have a different material while the label has different material, so we are going to separate the label space from the bottle. I'm going to show you how to do that here now. Let's separate the label space from the bottle itself. So we go to face, click on the face, alt click on all the faces, then P to separate, so separate by selection. So now we have that label space separated from the bottle. So you see that we have it separated from the bottle. So the reason why you are seeing all these shaggy things around there is because Blender is struggling to show which one is it, the label, is it the bottle. So how to fix this is we are going to scale the label space away from the bottle so that Blender can know what they are showing us. So let's scale that up to S, scale it up. Yes, so you see S for scaling, sorry, not Control S, S for scaling. So you see that Control S is saved. So now the shaggy things has left. So let's go to object mode, click on our label. So come into the material, but first let's bring in our HDRI. So click on also change it to world. So background, click on the background, then Control T to bring in our environment texture. So open, select the HDRI. I'm going to put these links in bio. I'm going to put it in the description, sorry, I said bio. So open. So this HDRI is going to help us with our lighting. Instead of having to put lights later, it's going to help us with our lighting. But first, we don't need the whole background thing. What we need is the light from the HDRI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the render, go to film, and then click on transparent. So the whole background film thing is gone, but we have the light. So click on the label, then go back to object, go from world, so new. So now we have principal PSDF, so click on it and then Control T. You see, so if you notice, when we are in the world, you click on Control T, it gave us environment texture, but on your object it gives you image texture because now it's dealing with objects. So click on open, yeah, so select the texture we want. So this is what we're working with, import. Wow, so we have it now. It's in, but for some reason it's not aligned the way we want. So UV editing, check what's going on. So click on the face, alt click on the faces. So let's see what's going on here. Wow, so our faces are doing their own thing. So what we do is we're going to unwrap it. So unwrap it like that, but still is not still placing properly. So what we're going to do on this state is we are going to look for a point. I'm going to look for a point along the environment, look for a point here, and then we are going to mark seam. So we're going to mark seam. Yeah, so mark seam there. Now we'll click on the face again, alt click. Now we unwrap, UV unwrap. Yes, so now it's placed well, but not still, aligned 100%, but it's placed properly. So we have to scale this for it to fit in this space. So take your time here, scale it, arrange it, move it, drag it, as long as it fits 100% in what you are looking for. Look out for stretches, look out for displacement, look out for cuts, look out for things like that. And like, see what I'm talking about now is upside down on our model. So look out for things like this. So alt click again, then we rotate. So look out for things like this. Take your time, you don't have to rush. Take your time and place it as beautiful, as excellent as it can be placed for you. So for some reason, I think this works for me. So back to layout. Yeah, so I think this works for me. Everything is looking good. It's looking well placed. Looking good. So we're going to give the other mesh their own material. Let's start with the bottle. It's going to have a transparent material because that's the main jar itself. So I'm going to give it its own material, transparent. So new, I'm going to reduce the roughness down to close to 0. Increase the white, pure white. Then transmission, I'm going to increase it all the way so that it is very, 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 very glassy. So it's looking good. It's looking good. So just take your time, do some little modification that you can do to yours. So for me, I think this is looking good. I think this is looking good. Increase this. Okay. So it's not looking like what I was looking. Oh, it's on EV rendering. Yes. So that's what you need to also notice. Sometimes when it's not looking like the way you want it, because it's an EV rendering. So let's move to the cap. So they do the same thing for this one. Change the color to green. We're working with the green. This one, change it to green. Basically, you can choose any color you want. Do your thing. Change it to green. Yeah. So for this cap, I'm going to click it again. I'm going to increase the roughness all the way up because I don't want it to reflect at all. So roughness all the way up. So just use this more. Okay, I think this is looking good to me. It's looking good to me. So guys, we are done with our model for the bottle. So on the next video, I'm going to be teaching you how to create the peel and how to make the peel fall into the jar. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to my channel and click on the notification button so that you can be able to get notified when I post the second part of this video. So guys, see you on the next video. Thank you.